Welcome back to Squawk Box this morning. If you are planning on trying to cash in, some of your Bitcoin and trying to pocket the gains, well, guess what? Be prepared for a potential tax hit. If you've owned or used Bitcoin, you may owe taxes no matter how you acquired or used it. CNBC senior personal finance correspondent Sharon Epperson is here now with more on what you need to know. Sharon.
Hi, Andrew. Well, if you bought or sold Bitcoin or any cryptocurrency this year, the IRS wants to know about it. It now asks this right on the first page of your 1040 federal income tax return. At any time during 2020, did you receive, sell, send, exchange, or otherwise acquire any financial interest in any virtual currency? And you have to answer yes or no. Now, you need to check yes if you were involved in any transaction with the cryptocurrency, including selling it, receiving it, transferring it for free, exchanging it for goods or services, or other property, including another virtual currency. And like stocks, any gain or loss from the sale or exchange of a cryptocurrency is taxed as a capital gain or loss.
Taxpayers need to know 3 pieces of information to report a sale or exchange. It's basis in the cryptocurrency, the holding period, and the fair market value at the time of the transaction.
So it's very important to keep good records of your transactions. Now, you're going to find out a lot more about Bitcoin and your taxes at cnbc.com/smart tax planning. Andrew?
So a couple questions. Consequences if you don't check the right box on your tax return. Either you're dodging it purposely or maybe you really just don't know.
Well, you need to know. You need to make sure that you understand how this works, and working with a tax professional is key here, because if you've made a transaction and you do not check that yes box, the tax experts that we've spoken to say that you could be accused of tax evasion by the IRS. There could be criminal consequences. So this is a very serious consideration that you have to make. It is right there at the top of the 1040 form. You can't miss the question, but you must answer it truthfully because there could be significant consequences if you don't.
Hey, Sharon, just real quick, are places like Coinbase and other institutions, are they reporting your gains and losses as well to match?
I'm so glad you asked that, because like a brokerage firm will report, what you've done with your stock transactions, your other transactions. This does not happen at many of the exchanges. This does not happen with cryptocurrency usually. So it's very important for you to keep very good records on your own and to make sure that you understand how to keep those records. Having a CPA, an enrolled agent, some tax professional who has worked with cryptocurrencies, has worked with taxpayers who are dealing with this is very important. So ask that question as you pick the right professional to work with.
Hey, Sharon, I get the idea of having to report if you've bought or sold cryptocurrency, but the idea of if you've used it for any transaction could get really complicated, especially as more and more vendors are accepting it as a form of payment. If like let's say you rented an Airbnb on something using it, let's say you bought a cup of coffee somewhere, you've got to report every one of those transactions. That can be incredibly complicated.
It says any. It says any. So I know that, but of course, it is difficult to keep all of those records and all of those documents. The issue is that people weren't reporting anything. And I think the IRS has been really looking to crack down on this, looking at the millions of people who own Bitcoin right now, own cryptocurrency, and how just several hundred some years over the past few years have been reporting every year. So they're missing out on a lot of people, and they just want to make sure, I think, that they're getting the accurate numbers of who owns Bitcoin, who's using it, and how they're reporting it.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.